Hey, it's Kristen here on day 5 of the Reclaim Your Holidays Challenge. And today's the final theme is kind of a catch-all, I guess. And it's heritage or tradition. And this can be the place for all the weird and quirky and individualistic things that were passed down in your family. Now, for me, the story that epitomizes for me tradition is the story of the Nutcracker. Now, we didn't go see the Nutcracker every single year in my family, but it was a play that my mom was in when she was little. I don't think even when my sister and I were in ballet, I don't think that we might have been in the Nutcracker suite when we were little in California ballet. We moved up here when I was 6, and I remember there's 2 costumes that I remember. One was I was a butterfly, and the other, my sister and I both were bunnies. But I don't remember if that was for the Nutcracker suite. Have just very, very vague memories of the actual performance of that. I do remember it was a performance, but I don't remember what time of year it was or anything. But whenever my grandma, my mom's mom, would come up to visit, she would take my mom and my sister and I to Seattle. We'd watch the Nutcracker there. We often watched the Nutcracker here. I don't think my brothers were ever in it either. But anyway, it's both the combination of it being a part of our tradition, even though it wasn't an annual thing, but also it's a very sort of story of tradition, right? It's the old-fashioned Christmas celebration of a family in maybe the 18th century or early 19th, and it's extended family all coming together for the feast and the meal, and the uncle, eccentric uncle, gives the presents, and just kind of like all the things. I'm sure you're familiar with the story. I don't need to summarize it for you. But for me, that's the story that sort of epitomizes tradition. But it can mean different things for different people. In my family, some of our other quirky traditions where we would set a Grinch trap when my brothers were little. One of my brothers, I can't remember which one now, was kind of obsessed with the Grinch coming to steal. I think maybe it was Rick the baby, coming to steal not only our presents, but also the peanut butter. For some reason, he was worried that the Grinch would steal the peanut butter. So we would set a Grinch trap for him. It was always midnight mass. My sister and I played flutes in the choir. I may have mentioned that on one other occasion that had to do with faith, maybe. We always had, the same traditional Christmas holiday meal. When I was younger, we used to get together with my dad's extended family when my grandpa was still alive. My dad's dad, he passed away when I was 11, but I can remember all of us getting together as an extended family to celebrate our Christmas with him. But this can also encompass some of the less delightful ways that your family celebrated or celebrate Christmas or some of the other winter holidays now. Maybe one of your family members has a drinking problem, or drugs, or maybe I don't know, maybe there's always a game of, like a football game on TV, and maybe just whatever. There's a lot of different, I don't know, again, for the other holidays, I don't know what specific family traditions might be important to you or might have been part of your childhood. But that's the theme of today, is those. And also, if you are now partnered with somebody, it's the complications that come from blending these two different holiday ideas of and expectations around the holiday. Maybe you're even, a blended marriage on this type of thing. Maybe one of you is from a different faith than the other. Maybe one of you is atheist or agnostic and the other one is very faith-based. It's really looking at all the different family traditions that maybe didn't fall into any of the other categories, and looking at the ways that those play out in your holiday expectations today, of the holiday stress of today. And so the questions are the same as usual, just thinking of your childhood, thinking of today. What comes to mind when you think of these things? Are there some traditions from your family growing up that you've let slide that maybe you wish you could bring back? Is there something from a particular faith tradition that you would like to celebrate now? Like for me, I'm looking more and more at ways to celebrate solstice on the 21st, not to take over from my family's Christmas time traditions, but in addition to, can I host people at my house and serve a traditional solstice meal? Things like that. What are some ways, memories that you have, family traditions that you have, that you liked, that you disliked? What are some new? When I was teaching this a couple of years ago, one of the guys said that his new family tradition with his kids is they build a big fort in the living room and kind of hide away from it all. That's perfectly legitimate, right? There's a lot of different ways to, and really, how fun is that, and how good does it sound some of the time, right? As much as I love Christmas, and the holiday season, there's definitely times when building a fort in my living room and hanging out with my nieces and nephews might be a more fun way to spend the day. So anyway, think about that as you think about today, and the same questions as before. Don't forget to give yourself a rating on the scale of 0 to 5 of how much tradition is important to you, your family's tradition, your heritage. Or again, if family wasn't part of it, like your religious tradition or your faith tradition or your ethnic traditions, you want to bring more of those in. Whatever it is for you, make sure that you write it down, give yourself a score, 0 to 5. And then I know this is day 5 and I said it's a 5-day challenge, but tomorrow I'll be back to sort of wrap it all up and talk to you about how to plot your scores on a chart and how to look at other members of your family, your partner, your mother-in-law, other people, so that you can sort of see where they are coming from. And then we'll talk a little bit about what to do to make a plan going forward. And I meant to bring this up on Wednesday, the 3rd day of this challenge. But just so I'll probably drop that in the comments below on Wednesday. But I have a longer workshop where we get to go over this in depth and discuss it more, so we get ideas from other people, so it's not just you by yourself thinking about this. I lead a lovely guided meditation at the end to help you just really imagine what the perfect holiday might look like for you. And so look down in the comments for how to sign up for this. It is coming up soon. So much love, everyone. And again, I'll be back tomorrow to sort of close it out and give you some more tips and guidelines. Okay, take care.